Look at my guy running. Look at my pinfish running.
Oh, I know.
All right, I'm over, I think, right?
I think I'm inside of you.
Yeah, you're
not sure.
This is the,
Something.
Come on.
Oh, he hit it, your cork's down. That would be too cool. This fish is awful close to the boat. Oh my gosh. Here's a big,
I'm Captain Rick Murphy, and this week on Sportsman's Adventure, we've got a really cool show for you. We're down here at the beautiful Florida Keys, and to be specific, we're in Islamorada, and we're here for the Maverick Owners Tournament. Now, all the owners of Hewes, Maverick, and Pathfinder boats are gathered under one little roof here down at Breezy Palms in Islamorada, and they're putting on a little fun tournament. They've been doing this now for over 20 years, and it's the annual Maverick Owners Tournament. Now, I'm not going to be fishing the tournament, but I am going to be fishing. I'm going to be fishing with my good buddy, Scott Deal, the owner of Maverick Manufacturing and Maverick Boat Company, and I got to say, we're going to be going trying to catch some tarpon. This time of year, one of my favorite things to do is to go and catch tarpon on bait. Obviously, we like catching them on fly, and I've caught them on fly with Scott before. But we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna go catch these fish on bait using pinfish and crabs. And the object is that these 50 to 60, all the way up to 120 pounders are around. And the reason why I like using bait is because the water's still a bit warm. We're in the month of September, still warm, and so what ends up happening is these fish like to lay down on the bottom after the first hour of light or so. So the fish are still there. The object is to let the pinfish do all the work while we sit back, relax, and enjoy the setting.
There he is.
Get him.
I'm winding. Oh, yeah.
All right, Scotty.
The pinfish worked.
Did you feel the tickle?
I felt a tickle. I think I got a bite.
You know what? You feel like you've been working out?
You're my inspiration, man.
Oh, we might have a double header here. Look at my guy running. Look at my pinfish running.
Oh, I know.
All right. I'm over, I think, right?
I think I'm inside of you, so I'm not sure.
This is the,
Something.
Come on.
Oh, he hit it, your cork's down. That would be too cool. This fish is awful close to the boat. Oh my gosh! Yours is big. Oh, you got a big one.
There we go.
You got a big one. We got a problem here, Steve.
No, this is called a tarpon two-step. It's no problem. You can take your clicker off if you want.
That's probably a good idea. Wow. You know, Rick, we're out here in this little carbon fiber, super light, super skinny draft boat, but clearly you could do this in a Pathfinder or big Maverick master angler.
No doubt.
When we're throwing pinfish, we're trying to throw flies earlier.
It just really simply wasn't working. And you know, the one thing you got to be able to do as a fisherman is you got to be able to adapt. And the one really great thing about the pinfish is that he's constantly selling for you, you know? As long as you're letting the line out, he's selling.
Look at what I got.
That's a king-size pilcher.
That is a big pilcher there, son. Wow, this is just the perfect size too. It's big enough you can feel some power, but you don't have to go lay down on the couch after you're done.
Oh boy, this guy's coming in the boat.
Don't put him in this boat. We're gonna get crossed up here.
No, we're not. We're not gonna allow that to happen.
I've got a. That's a nice one, Rick.
But you're absolutely, Scott, you're absolutely right when you're talking about the boats. And that's the one thing that guys need to know. They need to consider whenever they're thinking about buying a boat is they need to try to understand the line of boats that you sell or any other boat company that's what they're selling. And obviously we'd love for them to own a Maverick, a Pathfinder, or a Hewes. But the key is to understanding buying a boat for what your needs really are.
Yeah, what you're really going to do with the boat, not what you see somebody do on TV.
Exactly.
What are you going to do on Saturday morning when you go out?
Exactly.
You're going to put a trolling motor on it so you can fish, as opposed to be a guide where you're up on the tower.
And you know, realistically, that's a good point.
That's such a cool fish.
When you
I'm soaking wet now.
That's a good point, because when you put a trolling motor on this little technical pole and skiff and added all the trolling motor batteries and everything.
Yeah, and the chargers and all the things you need.
You're going to be drawing the same amount of water. Uh-oh.
Or close, and you know, you're, whoa,
that's
under the boat,
Coolidge. We got big problems. Okay, now, look, we got problems here, so what we're going to do
is go fix the problem.
What I did is I opened my bail so that the line didn't break on a trim tab or something. Let the fish clear, get rid of all the problems. He stopped because the pulling and the stuff that was aggravating his face wasn't in play anymore. And now I got clear.
And you still got him.
And I still got him. And the line never breaks if it's not tight.
Boy, that's a really good point, Rick. You got to pull on both ends.
You know where you live, Scott? You guys get those snook around the docks? Mm-hmm. He gets you around the dock. You know, you just really...
Come on, open up. There we go.
Oh!
Well, I don't have we got kind of an issue here. It's my fault.
That's all right.
Do you have a glove by any chance?
I do. Hold on one second.
I do not have the, or even a towel. I don't have
I got a glove. Hold on.
Rick Murphy calloused hands.
That's all right.
Woo! Sorry.
No.
Scott?
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to, it's a good problem when your guide's all hooked up and you, on a fish much bigger than yours, first of all. And secondly, it just leaves you to your own devices.
You know what I could do is I could glove put that fish and grab that fish for you, put my fish in the rod holder, back off on the drag like we talked about.
Right. And that's how you deal with a double?
Help you. Well, generally, when I have a double, there's two guys fishing, and I'm doing the guiding, so I'm free, you know? You got it.
I'm going to let this guy go, Rick.
As much as you...
See that circle hook right there?
Yeah.
I may need your pliers.
I got some.
No, I got it. I got him. He's free. That's a nice little
pull him out.
50 pounder.
How big is he?
45 pounds maybe?
Perfect.
50 pounds.
Put him back.
There you go, bud.
Don't go very far. Let keep those gloves close. You done that before, Mr. Deal?
Once. I saw you do it on TV once and I went and tried it.
Sportsman's Adventures is brought to you by Florida, the fishing capital of the world. Yamaha, when you want the best. Rapala, your best shot at a world record. Rapala line, premium fishing line crafted from experience. Maverick, fish the legend. Minn Kota, anywhere, anytime. Humminbird, simply, clearly, better.
Florida is the fishing capital of the world, hosting more than 3 million anglers per year. To maintain healthy fish populations, anglers are responsible for fishing legally. That means you must measure fish regulated by total length from the forward point of the head to the farthest tip while pinching the tail. Fork-length fish are measured to the rear center edge or V of the tail. Visit myfwc.com for more information.
Yamaha 4-Strokes. Reliable performance. A turn of the key, a touch of the throttle, and you know what to expect. Power, performance, and handling that are undeniably Yamaha. With a 4-stroke lineup that ranges from 2.5 horsepower all the way up to an ocean-conquering 250 horses. Everyone is clean, quiet, fuel-efficient, feature-packed, and marine-inspired. Yamaha 4-Strokes. Just turn the key and go. Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
You know, I fish all over the world and over 300 days a year on the water. And as a matter of fact, I spend more time on the water than on dry land. If it swims in salt water, I catch it. Out here, where the fish are big and mean, your lures really take a beating. To survive, they must be tougher than the fish are. Backcountry to blue water, my choice in lures is simple. All over the world, big fish eat little fish that swim like a rapala.
It takes a little more to make it out here. It's about guts, standing up to the elements, and quietly doing the job when others have long gone home. It takes Riptide, the toughest, most corrosion-resistant trolling motor ever built. When your reputation's on the line, hang it on Riptide, only from Minn Kota.
I've been fishing all my life and seen some pretty cool things on the water. I've seen a 180-pound tarpon jump in my boat. I've seen giant snook slam live bait, and I've also seen super shallow redfish I can easily pull to. I've seen a lot, and a lot has changed except my boat builder, Maverick Boat Company. Make no mistake about it, Maverick makes the best technical poling skiffs, high-speed backcountry skiffs, and bay boats in the world.
Hewes, Maverick, or Pathfinder, #1 for a reason.
All right, I'm just gonna stay right here.
I don't think he's as green or as whipped as Bachelor
Your
number
boy?
1 was.
Well, that's because you know how to fight him and put the hurting on him.
No, I know how to pick him.
What is that they always say? You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your in-laws, or you can't pick your
You can pick your friends.
friends. You can't pick your
nose,
parents.
but you can't pick your family.
Parents or something like that. I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Can't pick your poon either.
Now,
These
so
gloves
you know,
are
here we
small.
are, Scott. This is one of my favorite things to do. And the thing that I really enjoy about this is a guy from anywhere in Florida can come down here. We're in Everglades National Park. September. Everybody thinks the tarpon fishing's over in May and June. And you can go fish with Ron Houston out of Chokoloskee and catch these fish. Or you can go fish in the bridges, Mark Croca, probably one of the premier guides in the world. And the whole key is that tarpon fishing is not over just because they're not swimming on the Atlantic Ocean. The backcountry still has plenty of fish in it, you know?
Well, you sure proved that this morning. And
You just got to be able to adapt and say, okay, I'm not really getting the shots that we wanted on fly, so we grab the plug rods or the big level line rods. Now we turn around and do this.
all right, you ready for me to? No, you're
We'll
not.
back him up 1 or 2 more times. I mean,
Yeah, I don't want to.
I don't want you to get banged.
Look how little these gloves are.
There you go.
It's like little bitty gloves.
They belong to a little bitty man.
I'm gonna take them home, give them to my 11-year-old Clay.
They probably would fit.
Well, I can't really completely close. Oh, look at that hook, right in the top of just exactly the same place my fish was hooked.
Is it? Really?
Yeah, within a 1/16 of an inch. Yeah, it's
There you
exactly
go.
the same spot.
Okay, your duty.
All right, I just don't want to put the boat over the side. We might need a little better weight distribution. Can you get
All
on?
right, I'll step back.
This is why little boats are nice, because they're little.
It'd be a lot
They're low.
easier though, out of a. You done that before, Mr. Deal?
Once. I saw you do it on TV once, and I went and tried it. He's going to jump and knock me in the head and make me look stupid. He's a little bit bigger than mine, not a big one by any chance. Look at that mouth. There isn't a scratch in there. The hook didn't hurt him at all. I mean, I'm impressed. I've not used those hooks. What kind of hook is that?
That's a 5-0, which
Okay.
I think when you're using big baits like a pinfish
Yeah.
or a mullet, you got to go 5 or 6-0. If you were using a pilchard, you could go down to a 3, or a shrimp, you could go to 3-0. But that's the big mistake that people don't make when they're fishing with circle hooks. It's an owner 5-0, and the key, I think, that's very important is you got to have a big gap. And that's what a 5 or a 6-0 gives me.
Because look at the mandible size on this
Exactly.
tarpon is really big. So it's got it, for a circle hook to work, doesn't it have to go around the mandible?
Yes.
Interesting. So you said people make the big mistake is,
That's okay. Perfect.
I think he's well revived. Is the big mistake they use too big a hook or too small a hook?
They don't buy, they're typically used to fishing with a 3-0 or a 2-0 J hook.
Right.
And the gap on a 2-0 and a 3-0 is about equivalent as what you get in a 5 or a 6-0 with a circle hook, as far as the
So you
amount
have
of
to-
distance between the point and the shank.
And that's the whole deal there. It's the separation between the point and the shank that gets that mandible part
so
of
you
his
can
lip
get
in.
around the big fat parts of his face.
I'm impressed with that. That was like too
I'm
easy.
impressed with how quickly you did that. All right, now I'm going to show you how
You do this
impressed I
again?
can get another pinfish.
Yeah.
Captain Rick Murphy and Scott Deal have been friends for more than 20 years, and both bring something very unique to the relationship. Scott builds the absolute finest flats and inshore boats in the world, and Rick's many years of experience on the water have helped fine-tune these top-performing boats. Rick and Scott have also shared the boat together on countless fishing trips and tournaments. And Scott has also been our special guest on many past Sportsman's adventures.
Hold on tight, Scott. Hold on tight.
Chasing big tarpon on the shallow water flats of the Florida Keys is one of Rick and Scott's favorite things to do.
Is that fish right there, Scott?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I see.
When in doubt,
Yeah.
flip it out.
Let me get going here.
Okay, I'm doing nothing with the boat, Rick. They're coming.
Yeah, he's coming.
Yep.
Yeah,
He sees
yeah.
it. He's turning.
Yeah, here he comes.
All right.
There he is, Scotty.
All right.
Oh, he's
You
coming
made
back
him do
at
it.
me. He's coming back at me.
What
Watch
it-
it.
Oh
Watch
my
it, you don't
God.
jump in the boat.
Don't let him jump. I'm down. He's going
Clear my
behind
line, clear my line.
us. I'm down. It's
You're all right.
Go
You're all
over
right.
me. Go over me.
Oh, he's under the push boat.
It's in the light.
Where'd he go? Oh, what a zoo. Okay, I'm back. I had to run out there and go around the Yamaha and all those
Oh,
props.
man.
I'm glad he didn't jump. You can use that electric. Get after him, Scott.
Okay.
What a zoo. Thanks for sticking with me on that.
What do they say? Hours
my
of boredom and moments of pure
Oh my God.
sheer terror. I'm sorry, Rick. I thought you could pass it over my head so we didn't have to go through all of that.
I thought about going over your head, but then I was already under the push pole.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. He went under the pole.
Yeah. See him out there?
Yeah.
Today, they're back in the Florida Keys. It's a testament to this decades-old friendship that they still enjoy fishing together and still enjoy the excitement of pulling on a big fish.
300 yards.
See, he's at it right. See. Oh.
Got him. What you got?
I don't know.
You got something. And you got my line, too. I'll just reel down here. You have this fish so under control. I'll just let you bring him to me when you're ready.
I think we'll try to land him on the other side there, Scott.
This Conservation Minute is brought to you by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission.
Light tackle fishing is great, but if you're going to release that fish, make sure you use heavy enough tackle in order to land that fish quickly. That way, this fish will recover quickly and will have a much greater chance for survival. After you catch a fish, try to leave the fish in the water and use your pliers or a de-hooking device to remove the hook. Don't hurt the fish by sticking your pliers down the fish's throat or gills. If the fish is hook deep, just cut the line as close to the hook as possible and let the fish go. If you do have to take the fish out of the water, pick him up, hold him horizontally so that you won't damage his internal organs. Revive a tired fish by holding him in the water horizontally, moving him forward with his mouth open, which will allow the water to flow over his gills. Artificial lures with barbless hooks can prevent gut hooking the fish. And if you use live bait, be sure to use a non-offset barbless circle hook. Try to take care of your fish, keep him in the water, and let him go as soon as possible.
Contender boats. Take it to the limit. Wherever you find fishing tournament winners, you'll find contender boat owners. First to the fishing grounds, first to the winner's circle. When you look for strength, versatility, and ocean ability, you find contender boats. Hand-built, one by one, each and every one. Contender Boats is proud to introduce its new 23 Tournament Edition, the latest in true mid-sized offshore fishing rigs. Contender is committed to providing outstanding quality and performance. Nothing else delivers. Expect the most. Contender Boats.
Yamaha's Big Block V6 4-strokes. Everything you want when you're miles offshore. Everything and more. Up to 250 ocean-conquering horses. More than enough top-end muscle to move the big boats. Yamaha turn-the-key reliability translates to confident starts. Quiet, clean-burning performance. Smooth, powerful acceleration. And cruise all-day fuel efficiency. Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
Every second on the water is critical. So to get to the fish fast, I rely on Humminbird. Hummingbird's exclusive side imaging sonar shows me picture-like images of bait fish, schools, channel drop-offs, wrecks, and other structures. Navigation is easy and accurate with Hummingbird's advanced 16-channel GPS and optional Navionics Platinum charts. Finding fish or finding my way, Humminbird is simply, clearly better.
Wouldn't it be great if you could snap on a lure and just go fishing? With something that looks like, and more importantly, swims like the real thing. With lures that come pre-rigged with the best components available. With baits designed by people who fish all over the world. But most importantly, you tie these on your line, you're going to catch some fish.
Hey Roland, what gives you total boat control?
The power pole.
And Shaw, what gives you the edge on wary fish?
There's no other tool quite like a power pole.
The power pole stops your boat when you want and where you want in up to 8 feet of water without spooking the fish. Hey Brian and Greg, how have you guys won so many redfish tournaments?
Without a power pole, it'd be hard to do.
And Captain Rick, what gives you total boat control in winning all of your tournaments?
For total boat control, get the power pole. I've been fishing all my life and seen some pretty cool things on the water. I've seen a 180-pound tarpon jump in my boat. I've seen giant snook slam live bait, and I've also seen super shallow redfish I can easily pull to. I've seen a lot, and a lot has changed except my boat builder, Maverick Boat Company. Make no mistake about it, Maverick makes the best technical poling skiffs, high-speed backcountry skiffs, and bay boats in the world.
Hewes, Maverick, or Pathfinder, #1 for a reason.
Where's your fish going, Chief?
He's going where he wants to go, truthfully. I'm going to try to pull him over here to the right.
Watch out, I lead.
Get him out of the harm's way.
Sorry, I got your rod. And
You're okay, no problem.
it's not a problem.
We've been doing this before.
But yeah, I remember that's when I nicknamed you Racing Rick Murphy.
Yeah.
When you tried to slide a 200 in by changing the cowling, shipped us a Mercury with a 200,
Right.
200 with a 150 cowling. Said,
you know,
Mr. Murphy.
But that's back then. That's when we had Ralph Delper chasing him everywhere to the tarpon spots, and he was running a 200 on a competitor's boat, or a 225 on a competitor's boat, and we were having to compete with him and running a 150. Mm-hmm. And you know, horsepower versus horsepower, you're gonna lose. And so, yeah, you're absolutely right. I did. I tried to sneak one by you there.
Yeah, never gonna happen.
And that guy Charlie, man, he catted me out.
He said, that's not a 150. That's a 200. I think I'll just kneel down here. You have this fish so under control. I'll just let you bring him to me when you're ready.
I think we'll try to land him on the other side there, Scott.
Okay. Will you look at where that fish is hooked?
He's hooked right in the top of the mouth.
I mean, within a quarter inch of where the other two were hooked.
Now, what do you think about these circle hooks? This is the first time you've really seen circle hooks?
First time I've seen
tarpon?
them work properly, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the fish practically hooked himself. Don't you think? On that whole crab bite was real subtle.
Very subtle.
You weren't sure you even had him, and all of a sudden there he is jumping in the air. He's got a remora on him. So no, I am more than impressed. I am in the market. That's the next stage, you know. First is awareness, next is consideration, and third is I'm in the market for some circle hooks. Hey Rick, I mean, I don't mean to beat a point into the ground, but this hook is in exactly, not close to the same spot, but in exactly the same spot as the other two fish.
So you really think those hooks are, look at how it is hooked in the top of us, real conservation.
Well, it doesn't hurt the fish at all. Look, I could just do this, no ripping flesh out or any of that stuff. His mouth is completely unscathed. He could eat a fish in 2 minutes from now.
You know, and while you're holding that fish and reviving him, let's talk a little bit about how you don't have to pull these fish out of the water. You know, a lot of people will use a lip gaff and they poke it through underneath here to do the lip gaff. And don't get me wrong, we've all done it over the years.
Yeah, you have.
And what I've learned from the Fish and Wildlife Commission is that these fish, when they come up, they're suction feeders. And if we poke a hole through there, what ends up happening is now when he goes to close his mouth and suck, he's got this big hole there.
Right, and he can't suck things in.
He can't suck things in. So
Boy, I've never heard that before.
And there's no telling how long it takes for that to heal. I truly think it heals, just like if we have a little flesh wound on our hands.
Ooh, nice.
Hey, a little burp.
Who wants to go?
Let him go. Hey.
Well, he has no holes in him. He has no torn flesh. I'm sold on the circle hook, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And thanks for grabbing that for me. You know what? I've grabbed a bunch of them for you, and I got to say, it's neat being on the other end. I like it.
Well,
Let's see
I
if we can get you one.
He's the right size. When they're coming in $180, it's time for Mr. Murphy to grab them.
The 20th annual Maverick Boat Company's Southeast Owners Tournament was a great success. 120 anglers on 46 boats fished this two-day fun tournament, which really is first and foremost an opportunity for owners of Maverick, Hewes, and Pathfinder boats to get together and share their experiences with each other. This tournament has always been an event for the entire family, and the company encourages families to bring along their children. Trophies and awards, as well as great gifts, are handed out at the awards banquet, with special emphasis given to the young anglers, since they represent the future of our sport. Sportsman's Adventures also owes a special thank you to the great people at Maverick Boat Company, who have always been there to support us. To all of the new and old friends that we met at this year's tournament, we say thanks. And as our loyal viewers know, we always sign off each Sportsman's Adventures the same way. But this time, we'll let our new friends take us out.
Thanks for making this another great Sportsman's Adventure!
Check out the Sportsman's Adventures website at www.sportsmansadventures.com. Coming up next week on Sportsman's Adventures with Captain Rick Murphy.
This is what happens when you hook fish on light tackle in the Bahamas. Make no mistake about it. That tuna ain't gonna be released.